Hey bakers, sharing with you all an exciting fusion Indian dessert today, Burfi Bars. Yes, taking your favorite and nostalgic Burfi recipe and giving it a makeover. The layers of biscuity, crumbly crust followed by the nutty, grainy milk powder Burfi topped with luscious and decadent silky white chocolate ganache and dressed in adorable edible flowers. These Burfi Bars would definitely steal the show this Diwali. Also, I would like to let you know that this dessert is inspired by MasterChef contestant Hetal from Milk and Cardamom's Peda Bark. Okay, so now let's proceed with the recipe and let us start by preparing the tin. We are using a 8 by 8 baking pan here. First spray some oil. Instead of that, you can very well choose to grease it with butter using a pastry brush or your own hands. Okay, so spraying just makes things easier. Then line the base with parchment paper such that you have some portion of it hanging over the baking tray. That way it becomes easier to lift the dessert once it is all layered and set. I am securing the sides with a clip. This is optional though. The next step is to prepare the crust, which is the biscuit layer. To make this, I am using Parle-G biscuits as that's what I had handy today at my pantry. You can also use Mary biscuits or graham crackers too. Pulse it in the mixer to form crumbs. Add it to a mixing bowl along with icing or powdered sugar and melted butter. Combine together till they resemble a wet sand-like texture, and when pressed between your palms, it should hold its shape. Now transfer it to the prepared baking pan. Press to level it and then lightly toast it in the preheated oven of 180 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes. This is optional though. You can alternatively just allow it to sit in the fridge for 15 minutes if you wish to make it completely a no-bake recipe. I am choosing to toast it in the oven, but you do you. Okay, so once out, allow it to cool a bit and then put it in the fridge until ready to use. Proceeding to the next step, which is to make the burfi layer. This is the same recipe of milk powder burfi that I had shared 2 years back on the channel. Yes, the same 15 minutes traditional recipe is now a decadent fusion dessert. Okay, so to make the burfi layer, melt some ghee in the pan. Switch off the flame and add the milk and the milk powder along with pistachio and almond flour. Steps to DIY nut flour is mentioned in the description box below. Okay, combine everything together, switch on the flame to medium and add the powdered or icing sugar. Do keep on stirring the mixture as you do not want to burn anything here or create lumps. In just 10 to 12 minutes, you will observe that the mixture is coming into a dough and is leaving the sides of the pan. A good way to test is to take some portion of it into a plate, and if you can form a ball out of it easily, then your mixture is ready. Take it off the flame. Now I forgot to add cardamom powder while cooking, so I am adding it now and mixing the mixture. But you can add it once you add the sugar and cook everything until it is ready. Now layer this burfi on top of the biscuit layer. Spread out evenly and let it sit for 1 to 2 hours on your countertop until it is ready. Or until it is set. Now the detailed recipe of the milk powder burfi has some additional tips and tricks, so you can go through that video if you would like to just make the burfi layer or just want to know the tips and tricks for the same. Okay, so after 2 hours, it is time to prepare the final white chocolate layer. For that, make sure you use your favorite good quality white chocolate. I'm using Whittaker's here, again not a sponsored post, I wish it were though. Okay, just sharing the brand that I'm using. Always chop your chocolate down, which makes it easier to melt along with the cream. Pour in the cream and let us now melt it in a double broiler until combined. To give it a whitish color, I'm adding in some white food color. This is optional, you can skip it if you like. Just mix everything well and let the mixture cool a bit. If you pour at this stage, then the ganache might ruin the texture of the burfi, so wait for it to cool a bit. Let it sit on the countertop itself for a while. Depending upon the temperature, it would take 10 to 20 minutes. So once it is cold to touch, give a quick mix and pour it on top of the burfi layer. If there are any air bubbles visible, just pop it using a wooden skewer. When you have such abundance of flowers in your home garden, you have to make use of it, right? So once the ganache is partially set, decorate it the way you like. I'm adding in some fresh edible flowers, silver foil and dried rose petals. You can choose to garnish it with chopped nuts too, totally up to you. Allow the ganache to set in the fridge for 2 hours. Now I was running short of time here to capture everything on the same day for this particular video, so I went ahead and took the burfi out of the tin. As you all can see, it is still not completely set, which I would say is a good thing in a way, as I can share a little trick to get clean edges, which is to use hot knife in such cases. So dip your knife in hot water and run along the edges to sharpen it, then cut it into as and how you like. So you basically dip your knife into hot boiling water and then wipe it and then use it to cut your burfis or cakes or brownies or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to give it a bar shape. You can choose to give it a square shape or cut randomly to make barks. Again, in place of burfi, you can use peda layer, which is what Hetal did in her recipe, or you can also use a no-cook Kaju Katli layer to make Kaju Katli squares or Kaju Katli barks. So yeah, you can easily play around with this particular dessert. Doesn't the layers here look gorgeous? And no, it is not overly sweet. It has the perfect balance of sweetness with layers of textures in it. This would make an amazing Diwali gift. By the way, I wanted to add a clip here of the burfi once it is completely set, as you all can see. Once set, it is super easy to slice it down, no need of hot knife or anything. And the mouthfeel is just wow. Include this in your bake sale or make it to share it with your friends. I'm sure they will love it this Diwali. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please do like it, share it and consider subscribing for more such baking and dessert related recipes. I'll see you soon in my next one. Until then, this is Sushma signing off. Take care. Bye bye.